Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready?
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets.
On July 16, 2019, Pakatan Harapan and opposition lawmakers voted overwhelmingly to amend the federal constitution to lower the age of voters and election candidates. 211 out of 222 members of parliament voted in favour of the bill. This means that youths as young as 18 years old will now be able to vote. This will be reflected in Article 119 sub 1 of the Constitution, which will now state that a citizen's voting age is 18 instead of 21. Additionally, Clause 4 of the Constitution was amended to allow for automatic voter registration for 18-year-olds. The minimum age for a person to be elected to the Legislative Assembly was also amended to 18 in Article 47. The government predicts that 7.8 million new voters will be added to the electoral roll, increasing the number of voters to 22.7 million by the time the 15th general election is held in 2023. The passing of the bill will cost the government extra expenditure, but how much is not certain at the moment. With the exception of Singapore, which still maintains a 21-year voting age, most people in Southeast Asia can vote when they turn 18. The voting age in Indonesia is 17.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning to everyone. Today I want to talk about the synopsis of these topics. The fact that those who are above 18 years old and below 20 years old have been denied their right to vote has been subjected to many debates in the country. Many politicians, including youth in the country, have raised their voice of resentment and dissatisfaction on the matter. Each member of parliament has different views and opinions when the proposal to lower the voting age was being highlighted. So, for the example, you can see Syed Abdul Rahman, MP for Muar, and the initiator of the Constitution Bill 2019 to lower the voting age had to meet with opposition leaders to seek their opinion and support for the bill. Okay, that's from me for the synopsis.
Many wonder what is a suitable age that youth are allowed to vote. Are youth mature enough to be considered of voting? Here in Malaysia, Yang Berhormat Tuan Syed Saddiq bin Syed Abdul Rahman, a former Minister of the Youth and Sports, raised a question whether or not they should lower the voting age legally from 21 years old to 18 years old, as they are of the opinion that youth at the age of 18 should take part in the country's future. He states that they are the one who would be leading the country for the years to come. Voting brings a lot of meanings for many situations, but the main idea of voting is giving the right for a group of people to choose or make a decision. In this context, giving the people a chance to choose their leaders. This is an extremely important and delicate process because the fate of the country lies on the people who would choose their leaders. Thus, it is paramount that the government consider whether or not lowering the voting age with utmost importance because letting youth of the age of 18 vote may both bring benefits and detriments like a dual-edged sword.
Okay, the next one I want to talk about the objective of our project. Okay, there are three objectives. So the first one, to learn that youth are eligible to participate in election. The second one, to analyze the reason why many parties do not agree with the young should be given the opportunity to vote. The lastly objective is to study whether the civic education system and voting that Malaysian education system is very important for the young. That's only for me. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Liana Hadira and I am going to present about the methodology for our research. Okay, we are using survey to collect our data, and there are two types of question, which are respondent category and respondent answer. Okay, next, for the analysis statement, there are 11 respondents who answer our survey, and they are from 18 years old and 19 years old. Okay. The percent of 18 years old is 9.1%, which mean just a person, and for 19 years old, it is 90.9%. Okay, which mean 10 respondent. Okay, next, for race question, the survey has been a respond to 11 people, and they are students from Universiti Utara Malaysia. They are foundation in management student in semester 3. Okay, 90.9% of the respondents are Malay, which means 10 students from the respondent. The other 9.1% of them are Chinese, which is only just a person. Okay, next question is, should people in the age of 18 go out to vote? Okay, this question is the important question in this survey, to collect the point our for our research. Okay, the 7 students agree with the statement that people in the age of 18 should go out to vote for some reason. It is because they people in the age of 18 already matured to choose the right leader for the country. Okay, some of them also said that they also have the right to choose the leader because young generation can make the change to the best changes to country. Okay, there are also 4 students who say no to vote in the age of 18 because in their opinion people in the age of 18 still cannot think wisely to choose the correct leader. In addition, some of them also have less knowledge about politics. They might be voting with emotionally, else they sometimes cannot control their emotion around their age.
We move on to the first factor. The first The United Kingdom voted to reduce the age of voting to 18 in 1969. Things have advanced more slowly in Asia. Until Malaysia, Japan was the most recent country to decide that 18 years old are mature enough to vote in 2016. Next, the socio-economics of change. Many have attributed Malaysia's dramatic changes to political optimism, and expediency, as well as the commendable activism of a few individuals. However, it is worth remembering the socio-economic factors behind Malaysia's incremental yet drastic changes since the reformasi movement started in 1998. Next, the politics of urban dwellers. Another trend to note is that the peninsular states that were most vocal in their opposition to the federal government in 1969 were also the states where voters were most vocal in their opposition to central control in 2008, except in the state of Johor, where opposition support was low in 2008 but quickly rise in two elections, which is precipitating the state's federal government's collapse on May 9, 2018. This dynamic remained constant between 2013 and 2018. I'll continue to the next factor, which is white non-racial appeal. Malaysia has good reasons to be upbeat about the prospect of lowering the voting age. More young people participating in politics and running for office nowadays, as well as making voting process easier from them via automatic voter registration. It will have a game-changing effect on the country's political culture. Without any question, everybody involved in taking a chance by embracing this move. For politicians who are accustomed to concentrating to their core constituencies, engaging a large, affluent, urban and well-informed voter base will be a huge challenge. Next, young people have adult responsibilities but are denied the same rights. People under the age of 18 are involved and participating members of society. For example, in Malaysia, at the age of 18, there are some of us already work to support their family. We are all capable to unlock a lot of achievements, such as we already win the Nobel Prize, climb Mount Everest, conduct a cancer research, write books, teach a graduate level nuclear physics course, run their own college and work for NASA. This is the evidence saying that at the age of 18 is already enough for us to involve in voting election. The next point is young people are expected to follow the law, but we have no right to say in making it. People under the age of 18 are forced to obey adult laws and face adult consequences if they do not follow the law. When they commit a felony, they claim to be mature, responsible adults, but when they try to vote, they claim to be ignorant and naive. The next factor is young people are already participating in politics. People under the age of 18 have also become involved in politics by joining political action committees, running campaigns, fighting for our interests in front of legislators, and being grassroots activists. Next, knowledge and experience are not criteria for voting eligibility. Even though young people may be as politically educated as older people, no group is required to know anything about politics. In reality, if assessments have been used to register voters, the goal has always been to discourage such groups from gaining political influence, rather than assure that the electorate is as well informed as possible. Lastly, there are no wrong votes. Anyone can vote. We don't refuse people that the right to vote in democracy because we will think they will vote badly. Even if we know anyone well, it is easy to be exploited by their voting habits.
Hi everyone, I will be telling you some information about advantages and disadvantages of lowering the voting age. Being young has advantages as well as disadvantages. Malaysia's political system has taken on a different identity as a result of the controversy about lowering the voting age to 18 years old. So firstly, the numbers of voters should be increased by lowering the voting age to 18 and implementing an automatic registration. Also, it is estimated that by 2023, the country will have about 20 million voters. We need to start talking to the young to discuss their concerns with officials. This is because they are the ones who will be most affected by the decision that will be made during the 2023 election. Moving on, The only way to dilute the voting power of others was through various means, such as raising the fixed deposits. It is also beneficial for public policy as it eliminates the need for individuals to blindly vote for a certain party. Now moving on to the disadvantages of lowering the voting age. Due to the development stage of their brains, teenagers may not be able to vote in the future. Experts say that this age group lacks the necessary experience to vote. For them, the prefrontal cortex, which is the area where decisions are made, is still developing. Furthermore, according to some users, teenagers should not have the right to vote since they do not know the current affairs and politics. Also, they are being ignorant about politics. Most students believe that the lower voting age is mainly due to the lack of knowledge about the world issues among young people.
To sum it up, 18 years of age has been questioned and revered in the meetings amongst the ministers and has both received support and opposition. The right to vote is always questioned because the result of the voting will have a drastic change as the number of voters would increase, thus affecting the overall result. The adults and the opposition's group way of assuming that the youth under the age of 21 would be misled is not without their arguments. However, times have changed and even 18 years old has been exposed to all sorts of situations and facts about what is happening in Malaysia. I believe it is worth to be mentioned that they are tempered and mended early on with a mindset of a rightfully Malaysian citizen. Weighing the pros and cons, I believe it would be a great chance to let a change come through. By taking this risk, the outcome may be better, thus, than ever, trusting the country into a more advanced era.